From May 19th to May 31st was a very active time in Oklahoma. On May 19th, there were tornadoes that developed across central Oklahoma, the strongest being an EF3 near Luther and an EF4 near Shawnee. The very next day was the Moore tornado. We were set up in Oklahoma City, in and out tracking south to Purcell because there was a storm developing to the west of Purcell. In and out looking back to our north, and in that time a storm started developing over Oklahoma City. We exited at West Indian Hills Road, looked out to our west, and we could see the rain-free base of the storm. That's basically the part where the air is rising up through the thunderstorm. That's where the tornado would be. That's where the wall cloud's going to develop. And we had a clear view of that to our west. A few minutes before 3 p.m., the tornado actually touched down near Newcastle. Large stovepipe tornado on the ground. And it just continued to get stronger and stronger. We tracked the tornado basically up until it crossed I-35. At that point, our visibility of the tornado was really limited. Rain started wrapping around it, so we kind of lost visual as it went across I-35. Now, FOX23 storm chaser Von Caster, he was east of I-35. He was actually able to capture the tornado in its final moments.
Yeah, it's roping out. It's roping out. Right now, it's in its final stages.
We knew the catastrophe that happened. We could tell just by looking at the tornado. It was a violent tornado. It was a very destructive tornado. And unfortunately, we knew by watching it that people were probably losing their livelihoods, and not only that, their lives. The active pattern continued at the end of May. There was a tornado, as you know, touchdown in Broken Arrow on May 30th. EF2, which tracked across the Creek Turnpike, across the Muskogee Turnpike before lifting.
Yeah, that is it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. It's huge.
That's it right there. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right on top of us.
We expected storms to develop across central Oklahoma and then track east into green country. So we set up just to the north side of Oklahoma City. The system actually progressed a little slower than what we thought it might. So storms developed to the west about 20 to 30 miles from our location. There are actually 3 supercells that developed. We targeted the southern one because that was becoming the most dominant of the storms. We positioned on Highway 81 about a mile and a half south of I-40. I was actually on the phone with FOX23 Chief Meteorologist James Adelot. I could feel the inflow.
The inflow is probably, what, 40 to 50 miles an hour right now. And I think I'm actually going to turn around and head a little south.
Just a very uneasy feeling. You could tell just from the strong inflow, the air that's being sucked into the storm, that this was a very powerful storm. It was a storm that was strengthening. We couldn't see the tornado. It was rain wrapped. It was what you call HP, high precipitation. It was a very uncomfortable feeling. At that point, made the decision to drop south. And I go back to this moment many times. The decision to drop south at that time probably saved our lives.
And from our vantage point, we can't, it's so HP, or high precipitation, it's rain wrapped. That's basically what I'm saying. It's rain wrapped. And we just can't get a good view of what's in there. But I imagine we're getting reports that there's possibly a tornado in there, but we just can't see it right now, and it's just too dangerous. We're going to head a little farther south.
As we drove south down Highway 81, we could see the monster out to our west. At first, we thought we were looking at just rain wrapping around, perhaps a tornado somewhere in that precipitation. But the whole thing was it. The whole thing was the tornado. A lot of chasers were struck by the tornado, and sadly, 4 chasers did lose their lives. There was an amateur chaser, Richard Henderson, that was killed, and also atmospheric scientists and researchers Tim Samaras, Paul Samaras, and Carl Young also lost their lives.